The Narrow Road to the Deep North by Matsuo Basho, Part 3. Eaten alive by lice and fleas, now the horse beside my pillow pees. The guard told us, to get to Deva, you'd better take a guide. There's a high mountain and a hard-to-find trail. He found us a powerful young man, short sword on his hip and oak walking stick in hand, and off we went, not without a little trepidation. As forewarned, the mountain was steep, the trail narrow, not even a bird call to be heard. We made our way through deep forest dark at night, reminiscing me of Tu Fu's poem about clouds bringing the darkness. We groped through thick bamboo, waded streams, climbed through rocks, sweaty, fearful, and tired, until we finally came to the village of Mogami. Our guide, turning back, said again how the trail was tough. Happy you didn't meet many surprises, and departed. Hearing this, our hearts skipped another beat. Visited a merchant in Obanazawa, a Mr. Saifu, finding him to be wealthy, but relatively free of the vulgarities of the merchant class, and he knew from his own many travels to Miyako the trials of life on the road, so invited us to stay the week, all in all quite relaxing. My house is your house, and so it is, very cool, sprawling out in comfort. Come out from hiding under the silkworm room, little demon-toad voice. A little rouge brush reminding me somehow of local safflower fields. Sora wrote, women in the silkworm room all dressed simply like women in antiquity. In Yamagata province, the ancient temple founded by Jigaku Daishi in 860, where Yukakushu Temple is stone quiet, perfectly tidy. Everyone told us to see it. It meant a few miles extra, doubling back toward Obanazawa to find shelter. Monks at the foot of the mountain offered rooms. Then we climbed the ridge to the temple, scrambling up through ancient gnarled pine and oak, gray smooth stones and moss. The temple doors, built on rocks, were bolted. I crawled among boulders to make my bows at shrines. The silence was profound. I sat, feeling my heart begin to open. Lonely stillness, a single cicada's cry, sinking into stone. Planning to ride down the Mogami River, we were delayed at Oishida, waiting for decent weather. This is haiku country, someone told us. Seeds from old days blooming like forgotten flowers, the sound of a bamboo flute moving the heart. With no one to show us the way, however, local poets try new style and old style together. So, we made a small anthology together, but the result is of little merit, so much for culture. The Mogami flows from the Michinoku at the far northern edge of Yamagata country. It is dangerous through Ghost Stone Rapids and Falcon Rapids, circumscribing northern Mount Ichijiki to meet the sea at Sakata. Mountains rose from either side of the boat as we sped between the trees. The boat was only a tiny Royce boat, not meant for all we carried. We passed Shirato Falls where it tumbles under pines. Hall of Immortals on the riverbank. The water's so high it was a dangerous ride. All the summer rains violently gather, Mogami River. Climbed Mount Haguro on the third day of the sixth moon and, with the help of a friend who dyes cloth from mountain monks' robes, Zushi Sakichi, obtained an audience with the abbot of Gungan Shrine, Master Igaku, who greeted us warmly. He arranged for quarters at nearby South Valley Temple. The next day we met at the main temple to write haiku. The winds that blow through South Valley Temple are sweetened by snow. We paid homage at Gungan Shrine on the 5th, the first shrine on the mountain. It was built by Nojo, no one knows exactly when. The Enji ceremonies calls it Ushutaro Mountain, Feather Province Village Mountain, but calligrapher's errors got it changed to Feather Black Mountain. The province is called Deva, Feather Tribute, dating from an 8th century custom whereby feather down from this region was used as payment of tribute. Together with Moon Mountain and Bath Mountain, Feather Black Mountain completes the Deva Sajan, or three holy mountains of Deva. This temple is Tendai sect, like the one in Edo on Toei Hill. Both follow the doctrine of Shikantaza, deep sitting concentration and insight, a way of enlightenment as transparent as moonlight. Its light infinitely increasing, spreading from hermitage to mountaintop and back, reverence and compassion shining in everything it touches. Its blessing flows down from these mountains, enriching all our lives. On the 8th, we climbed Moon Mountain, wearing the holy paper necklaces and cotton hats of Shinto priests, following behind a mountain monk whose footsteps passed through mist and clouds and snow and ice, climbing miles higher, as though drawn by invisible spirits, into the gateway of the sky. Sun, moon, and clouds floated by. and took my breath away. Long after sunset, moon high over the peak, we reached the summit, spread out in bamboo grass, and slept. Next day, after the sun burned away the clouds, we started down toward Udono, Bath Mountain. Approaching the valley, we passed Swordsmith Hut, named for the 12th century smith Gasan, who purified himself with holy water here and used it to temper his blades. On each blade he inscribed Gasan, Moon Mountain. He admired the famous dragon spring swords of China. I remembered the legendary man and wife smiths renowned for their dedication to detail and technique. We stretched on a rock to rest and noticed the opening buds of a 3-foot cherry tree. Buried under stubborn snow, it insists on honoring spring however late it arrives. Like the Chinese poem, plum blossoms fragrant in burning sun. And Gyoson Sojo wrote, "So sad, blossoming cherry, you have no one to admire you. It's all here in these tiny blossoms." To say more is sacrilege, forbidden to speak, put down the brush, respect Shinto rites. Later, back with Master Igaku, we wrote poems on the 3 holy mountains. Cool crescent moon, shining faintly high above, feather black mountain. How many rising clouds collapse and fall on this moonlit mountain. Forbidden to speak, alone on Udono Mountain, tears soak through my sleeves. Sora wrote, Bath Mountain walkway paved with pilgrims' coins. Here too are tears. After leaving Haguro, we came to the castle town of Surugaoka, accompanied by Sushi Sakichi, and were greeted by the samurai Nagayama Shikeyuki. We composed a round of haiku, bid farewell, and started by boat down the Mogami, bound for Sakata Harbor. We stayed overnight with a certain doctor who wrote under the nom de plume En an Fugoyoku. From Hot Sea Mountain, southward to Windy Beach, the evening cools. A burning summer sun, slowly going down to drown Mogami River. After all the breathtaking views of rivers and mountains, lands and seas, after everything we'd seen, thoughts of seeing Kisakata's famous bay still made my heart begin to race. 20 miles north of Sakata Harbor, as we walked the sandy shore beneath mountains where sea winds wander, a storm came up at dusk and covered Mount Chokai in mist and rain reminiscent of Su Tungpo's famous poem. We made our way in the dark, hoping for a break in the weather, groping on until we found a fisherman's shack. By dawn the sky had cleared, sun dancing on the harbor. We took a boat for Kisakata, stopping by the priest Noyen's island retreat, honoring his 3-year seclusion. On the opposite shore we saw the ancient cherry tree Saijo saw reflected and immortalized, Fishermen row over blossoms. Near the Sore Empress Jingu's tomb and Kamaju Temple, did the Empress ever visit? Why is she buried here? Sitting in the temple chamber with the blinds raised, we saw the whole lagoon, Mount Chokai holding up the heavens inverted on the water. To the west the road leads to the Muya Muya barrier. To the east it curves along a bank toward Akita. To the north the sea comes in on tide flats at Shiogoshi. The whole lagoon, though only a mile or so across, reminds one of Matsushima, although Matsushima seems much more contented, whereas Kisakata seems bereaved. A sadness maybe in its sense of isolation here, where nature's darker spirits hide, like a strange and beautiful woman whose heart has been broken. Kisakata Rain, the legendary beauty Saishi wrapped in sleeping leaves. At the shallows, the long-legged crane cool, stepping in the sea. Sora wrote, Kisakata Festival, at holy feasts, what specialties do the locals eat? The merchant Taiji from Mino province wrote, Fishermen sit on their shutters on the sand, enjoying cool evening. Sora found an osprey nest in the rocks. May the ocean resist violating the vows of the osprey's nest. After several days, clouds gathering over the north road, we left Sakata reluctantly, aching at the thought of 130 miles to the provincial capital of Kaga. We crossed the Nezu barrier into Echigo province, and from there went on to Ichiburi barrier in Echu, restating our resolve all along the way. Through 9 hellish days of heat and rain, all my old maladies tormenting me again, feverish and weak, I could not write. Altair meets Vega, tomorrow, Tanabata, already the night is changed. High over wild seas surrounding Sado Island, the river of heaven. Today we came through places with names like Children Desert Parents, Lost Children, Send Back the Dog, Turn Back the Horse, some of the most fearsomely dangerous places in all the North Country, and well named. Weakened and exhausted, I went to bed early, but was roused by the voices of 2 young women in the room next door. Then an old man's voice joined theirs. They were prostitutes from Niigata in Echigo province and were on their way to Ise Shrine in the south. The old man seeing them off at this barrier, Ichiburi. He would turn back to Niigata in the morning, carrying their letters home. One girl quoted the Shinokochu poem, "On the beach where white waves fall, we all wander like children into every circumstance, carried forward every day." And as they bemoaned their fate in life, I fell asleep. In the morning, preparing to leave, they came to ask directions. "May we follow along behind?" they asked. "We're lost and not a little fearful. Your robes bring the spirit of the Buddha to our journey." They had mistaken us for priests. "Our way includes detours and retreats," I told them, "but follow anyone on this road and the gods will see you through." I hated to leave them in tears and thought about them hard for a long time after we left. I told Sora and he wrote down, "Under one roof, courtesans and monks asleep, moon and bush clover."